Welcome to the updated Fiat 500X. Now I'm going to be honest, I like my Fiat 500s like Fiat 500s. They're small, they've got a cool design. I really like that. So the idea of taking a Fiat 500 and stretching it, making it a bit bigger, doesn't really appeal. But that's what Fiat has done, and the reason they've done that is because they want you, once you've been driving a Fiat 500, once your family's grown maybe, or you just want a bit more space and you've matured slightly, they want you to make the move into a bigger Fiat 500. They want to keep you in the brand. Now please, if you like what I do and what we do, then make sure you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon for notifications, all the usual YouTube things. Make sure you comment, like, share, just do all of it. And make sure you visit newmotory.com. So what do you need to know? Well, there are 3 trim levels. There's Urban, Cross and Cross Plus. Urban replaces the trim level on the old 500X of Popstar. Cross replaces Lounge, and Cross Plus is still just Cross Plus. That's the top spec. The engines have been updated, so there's a 1 litre 3-cylinder, there's a 1.3 litre 4-cylinder, and there's an old pre-facelift engine as well. There's a 1.6 litre. And there are no diesels, and if you go for the top spec petrol, you can only have it with a 6-speed automatic gearbox. The other engines though, you can either have with a 6-speed manual, or if you go for the low spec petrol, the old engine, you get a 5-speed manual. To look at inside and out, there have been some updates, as you would expect. The front and rear bumpers, they've been tweaked slightly. I think it's most noticeable at the front. The proportions of things have just changed slightly. The front and rear lights, they're different as well. At the back, you'll notice it because rather than one solid light unit, there's now a body-coloured piece of plastic in the middle, which follows along from the standard 500. And inside, there have been lots of little tweaks all over the place, really. The good news for many people is just that there's going to be quite a bit more tech and quite a bit more safety kit than the old 500X. So how does it drive? Well, this is a 1 litre 3-cylinder Cross Plus, so it's got 120 brake horsepower and 140 pounds-feet of torque. 0 to 62 miles an hour takes 10.9 seconds, and the top speed is 117 miles an hour. Perhaps those figures aren't entirely relevant to someone who's going to buy a 500X, but that's what they are. This engine though, I love the sound of a 3-cylinder. This is quite a quiet one, but I think where this struggles is its lack of torque. Below 2000 RPM, it just doesn't really get going. If you're going up a steep hill, as I am now, you need to be in the right gear at the right time, otherwise you will just stop. It's only when you get to 3000, 4000, that's when it starts to wake up a bit. On the plus side, what it does mean you can do is just rev it absolutely everywhere. It's kind of that classic small Italian car kind of vibe. You have to just put your foot to the floor almost all of the time. The gearbox, it's a 6-speed manual, and it's okay actually. It's just got quite a big movement to it, and the gear lever itself is quite big. It feels like a tennis ball in your hand. And the suspension as well, that's okay. It's a little bit busy, but to be honest, it just feels like a Fiat 500, but with more suspension travel. Oh, and more roll as well. You definitely get more roll in the X than you do in a standard 500. Prices start at £16,995, although this particular car is £21,545. This is quite an expensive one. Would I buy one? In all honesty, no, I don't think I would, and it's the same reason why I wouldn't buy a 500L. I like the Fiat 500 because it's a small, cool Italian car, but when you start using that brand to sell other cars and you just stretch the design, you make it a little bit bigger, for me, that's not so cool. I don't really want that, and I think Fiat is clever enough to do something slightly different. Regardless, even though I wouldn't buy it, I know probably quite a few people will, and that's what Fiat wants to do after all. And in reality, to its credit, it doesn't feel like a Fiat 500 that is too big and too heavy. It does just feel like a Fiat 500 that's a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, but not by much. bye.